Hey guys and gals, I'm David with Yellowhammer Woodcrafts, and today I'm going to give you a review and talk a little bit about this 8-inch Rikon benchtop joiner. So I have been using this joiner for a while now, so you don't get to see the unboxing, but it does come mostly together. The only thing that you have to put on is the fence, and it's not very difficult. It's just a few bolts, so fairly simple. The fence does rotate from 45 to 90 very simply with these two knobs here. And the fence is pretty easy to set up. It could be a little bit tougher fence. It's just this aluminum, but it works. I've had no issues with it. So this Rikon joiner does extend from 30.5 inches to 51.5 inches with these extender bars, and there's two little nuts here on the bottom that you just loosen, and you can extend that in and out. And same for this one. I suggest anytime you're joining or planing anything, or even on the table saw, if you can get some of this, you use this, put this paste wax on here, rub it on, let it sit for a minute or two, and then buff it off, and it makes everything slide real smooth. And it makes it a lot easier when you're using your push block to push wood through, and you don't have to put your fingers anywhere near the blades or on the wood. This joiner comes with a 4-inch port for a dust collector, or it comes with an adapter for a 2.5-inch hose to hook onto. I have mine hooked to a 4-inch, and the dust collection is fairly decent. I've had no issues with it. Mine doesn't work as well because, for one, I have it split on my table saw, and that's taking away some of the sucking pressure. So if you hook it straight to a dust collector like that one, it'll work a lot better, and it would probably work better with a smaller hose. I'm not sure about that, but if you have one of these or any experience with the dust collection on these, let me know down in the comments. It does have a spring-loaded booger picker protector, and here are your helical style blades. It has 6 rows of blades, and the good thing about these type of carbide blades like this is when they go dull on one side, you can take them off and twist them around and use them again. And then once they go dull on all sides, you just take them off and replace them. So it's a lot better than the knobs. It's not a true helical head, but it does cut well. It's the same type of helical head that I have on my Wind planer. And if you haven't seen the review on that, I have a review on the Wind planer also. Everyone always wants to know how heavy a tool is and how loud it is. Well, this joiner, standing 3 feet away, is 100 decibels with no load on it. So without pushing a board through it, with it just running on its own, it's 100 decibels. And I don't know if you're going to be able to tell in the video how loud, but I'll run it for you so you can hear it. I would say with no load on it, it's comparable to a lawnmower. But once you push a board through it, it does get a little bit louder, so you will need hearing protection. And for the weight, it weighs 49 pounds. So it's not heavy at all. I have mine on this cool little flip cart that I built. And if you're interested in the flip cart, I also have a video on that. And I do have plans coming for it soon. So my planer is on the bottom, joiner on the top, and you just flip this latch and flip it around, and then you can go from your joiner to your planer. Sorry about all the crows and chickens and dogs and everything else you hear in the background, but I live in the deep, dirty South, and it is what it is. But anyway, so it has a max depth of 1/8 inch, but you really don't want to take that much off. I have mine set to about 1/32, a little bit over that. It's really easy to adjust. All you do is loosen this and you turn this, and it raises the bed up and down. And when you get this, the way to tell if you don't need to adjust this or anything, if everything's set up right, you want to take a ruler with a good straight edge. See if I can do this with one hand. You want to take a ruler with a good straight edge and hold it down like that on this end, on the outfeed end, and put it over one of the blades. And when you turn this blade that way, you should feel it catch the top of the ruler just a little bit, not so much that it raises the ruler off the bed. If it's raising the ruler, then you need to adjust it. Holy crap, Batman. Tell me you don't know what you're doing without telling me you don't know what you're doing. So if you've never seen a joiner work before, or if you don't know what one is for, you can see this is a piece of cherry and it's rough on this side. So what a joiner does is it will make this side flat, and then when you run the flat side up against your fence, it will square this side to whatever edge that you square. And then when you flip it over on the flat side and run it through your planer, then you have parallel sides that are both flat to each other and a edge that is 90 degrees to your two sides, to your top and bottom. And then you run it through your table saw to get a straight edge on the other side. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's plenty of videos that show you how to mill rough lumber. But we're going to run this board through and I'm going to show you how it works, and you can see how much dust comes out of it, how loud it is, and what it does to the board. That's my bad on the wood. This is not cherry, this is oak. I forgot I bought this piece to make a whiskey barrel shelf, and here's a picture of that. So here's what it does to the wood. As you can see, it's really smooth, no dips or lines. So this is a very good cutting joiner. So when I was looking for a joiner, I went on YouTube, watched a lot of different review videos on different bench tops. I wanted a cabinet based joiner, but they're way out of my price range. You can buy a used one for about the price of a new bench top, but I'm always scared to buy used tools because you never know what you're going to get, and I don't really know how to work on stuff like that yet. So I chose this one because I like the Rikon brand. I have a Rikon bandsaw and a Rikon lathe, and they've both been great machines. I've had no issues with any of them, except for the blade that came on the Rikon bandsaw. It really sucks. So if you do buy the bandsaw, of course, I think that's with any bandsaw, you need to change out the blade first thing. But this has been a great joiner so far. And when I was watching videos, I noticed that a lot of people said that a joiner was the scariest machine in their shop. It is pretty scary because when you look down at the board going through and it comes out on the outfeed side, you can see the blades spinning over your face. That's kind of scary. But as long as you're not putting your hands on the board, you should be fine. Never try to feed a board through with your fingers on the back of the board pushing it, because when you do that and you forget that your fingers are back there, they're going to run across that blade and it's going to take the tip of your fingers off before you even know what happened. If you want to see what a joiner does to a finger, go over and watch Cam's video, Blacktail Studios. He has a video on a lot of different machines and how they react to fingers and hands getting caught in them. And he uses ballistic gel to show you what it looks like. It's pretty terrifying to see a thumb get caught in a joiner. But if you're not afraid of the machine, then you know you can't really have respect for it, in my opinion. The fear makes you have respect for the machine. So it's okay to be a little scared of the machines, but just use caution. And if you're not a seasoned woodworker and you're just a beginner, watch some videos on YouTube on how to use one, how to be safe with one. Wear eye protection, wear hearing protection, and you'll be good. One last thing, if you're looking for a joiner to buy, I think this joiner was about $700. I bought it from Woodcraft, but it was on sale at the time. I think you can still get it for around $700. If you have a bigger budget, I would suggest getting a cabinet-based joiner because they're just more accurate, and you can run longer wood through them. That's the only disadvantage to a benchtop. A joiner is only as accurate as twice the length of the joiner. So if you're trying to run a board through the joiner that's twice as long, it's probably not going to be accurate through the whole length of the board. And if you haven't watched my video on making this flip cart, I'm sure you probably want to see how this works. So like I said, there's just a little latch here. Pull that latch and you flip it around and then latch it here. And now you can use your planer. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you got something out of it. And before you go, I just want to use this time to give a shout out to Chris at A Glimpse Inside. I went down to his shop a couple weekends ago and he actually gave me a $3,000 CNC machine. That he wasn't using. Blew me away. I couldn't believe he was just giving it to me. That's the kind of guy he is. He's an awesome guy. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He also gave me a Dust Right Micron filter to go on my Dust Right dust collector. Just an awesome guy. Thanks, Chris.